All right, ladies, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thanksgiving Eve. Woo!
The next workout.
I'm going to give you a good workout today so you can feel good about enjoying your food tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully get a walk in this afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day, a couple of days, a few days. So let's start with a good morning stretch, hip hinge. Shoulders down, chest open. Remember, you're leading with your chest. Your back is nice and flat. You should feel a nice hamstring stretch. Dropping the hips and coming up on the toes. There's your balance. Little calf engagement. Arla just left, so I'm going to ditch my mask so you can hear me. Chest open. Nice hamstring stretch coming up. Reach. Good. And hips back. Chest open, back nice and flat. Drop the hips if you can. Up on the toes. Great. Getting into your pattern of breathing. Nice. Do one more.
Begin set one.
Boom. All right. Feet wide, opening up those hips, stretching out those inner thighs. Make sure those feet are parallel, okay? Pushing the hips back, reaching across the body. Mindful of this knee not going past the foot, okay? So it's all about pushing the hips back, feeling that inner thigh stretch, opening up the hips. Okay, and then the other side. Great. Pushing the hips back. Should feel like a good stretch. You can always modify this if you've got a knee that doesn't like to go too far. Just don't go that far. Push those hips back. Great. Let's do a couple of doubles here. Little pulse or double. Pulse or double. Great. Again, that should feel like a great stretch in that inner thigh, opening up the hips. Nice. All right, standing nice and tall, palms down, elbows back, as we do a booty kick row here. Remember, on that booty kick, knee stays underneath the hip, so you feel that hamstring activation. Also a dynamic quad stretch there. Shoulders down, chest up and open, activating that upper back, which we will work later. Working those postural muscles, I always love to do that. So we are opening up the chest. We are activating the hamstrings. We are getting warmed up. Nice and tall through the torso. Excellent.
Exercise.
Woo! Okay, we're going to go to a squat, pushing the hips back, palms facing forward, opening up the chest, all right? You can make the squat as little or as big as you want to. Just make sure the hips are going back on the squat. Knees are not coming forward, okay? Hips back. Open up that chest. Hips back. Open up that chest. Good. Nice. Try to keep that chest up on the squat as much as you can. A lot of times people go drop their chest on the squat, and sometimes that is a flexibility factor. So keeping those hip flexors open, try to keep that chest up as you push those hips back. Awesome. Let's do two more.
Stop.
Hips back. Excellent. Let's go into a squat jack, jumping jack without the jump. Hips back, arms across in front, arms overhead. Now, if the squat doesn't work for you, know that you can do it without the squat here. Try to get those arms all the way overhead. If your shoulders are good, keeping that flexibility. We are going to start with some push-ups today. I'm going to attempt to use this bench today. I've got a little bit of a wrist issue, so we'll see how that goes. Just because that works better with the lighting here, but in terms of me opening the curtains. So feel free to use a bench, kitchen counter, a table that's secure, a wall, whatever works for you in terms of height. The lower you go, the harder it is. All right?
Exercise and switch.
So again, I'm going to attempt to use this bench here. See how my wrists do. Remember, it's basically a moving plank. Your hands are going to be outside of your shoulders or about shoulder width apart. Body in that plank position, working chest and triceps, keeping the abs and glutes nice and engaged. All right?
Set one.
So wherever you are, counter, bench, kitchen island, wall, it's the same drill. You are using chest and triceps to lower and push up. Inhaling as you go down, exhaling as you come up. Keeping that plank position. Notice my head and neck stays neutral, I hope. So I'm not jutting it forward, which is a tendency for a lot of people. There's your exhale.
Exercise.
Just make sure you keep everything in that plank position and you don't lead with your head. Chest is leading, everything else is just along for the ride on this, okay? Great job. Set number 2. Shake out my wrists here. All right, plank
Begin
position.
set 2.
Hands outside the shoulders. Inhale as you lower, exhale, pushing up. Push-up is a great functional movement. Pushing motion, useful in pushing open a door, pushing yourself up in bed, using these muscles for those movements, chest and triceps. Inhale and exhale. Good. Keeping that plank position, ladies. Are your glutes tight? Are your abs engaged? Woo!
Stop. Exercise.
Ooh. All right, time for me to strip down. I'm warming up. Hopefully you are too. Trying to feel this a little bit in my wrist, so hopefully they'll make it through here. All right, ladies, set number 3 coming up.
Begin set 3.
Plank position, here we go. Inhale, exhale as you push away. Great. These are getting tough. They should be getting hard. If they're not getting hard, maybe find a lower surface or push. If you're doing a wall, push your feet back a little bit more and make that angle a little bit, make your feet further away. So you change the angle. Woo!
Stop. Exercise.
Ooh! Well, I need to do these more often. All right. Shaking it out. Ladies, we have one more set, and then we're going to do a wall sit, okay? So find your place on a wall. If you want to grab some weights for that, feel free to do that. And here's our final set of push-ups. Plank position, abs and glutes nice and engaged, head and neck neutral, lowering the chest, pushing up. Again, chest leading, everything else just along for the ride. There's your exhale. Keeping that perfect plank position, ladies. Almost there. Good. Slowly lower. With control. There's your exhale. Maybe one more.
Stop. Exercise. And
Stay by the back.
Station.
All right. Well done. I'm going to walk off screen here for a moment, grab some weights for the wall sit. I'm going to do the wall sit right here. If wall sit doesn't work for you, feel free to do a squat with support. If you need to hold on to something, you can hold on to something and do a squat that way. Otherwise, in the wall sit, you're going to lower close to 90 degrees, depending on your knees. If you have knee issues, feel free to be up a little bit higher, okay? Make sure the abs are nice and tight. And I'm going to go with an isometric hold here for my first set. So biceps working statically here in a hold position. Notice my shoulders are down, my chest stays open. And think about the weight being more in the heel of your foot than the front of your foot.
Stop. Exercise.
All right, shake it out. Woo! Again, weights are optional, just if you want to add a little bit. This time we're going to do some moving, dynamic work with the weights. So coming down to that wall sit.
Begin set
Again,
2.
quads engaged, abs engaged. Starting in this position, my left arm is going to be working dynamically. Right arm stays static. Both biceps working just in different ways. Okay? Make sure the abs stay engaged. Shoulders down, chest open. Ladies, how are those quads feeling? Woo! Mine are starting to get tired. And biceps working again. Elbows stay in. Notice my upper arm is not moving away from my body. Upper arm stays fixed on that curl. Okay? Shake it out. Great job. All right, set number 3. Sliding down. And if any of you want to do two sets in a row on this, if you're feeling like, my quads really could do another set without the break, then go for it. This time I have my left arm statically holding, right arm is dynamically moving. Keeping the abs engaged. Notice my head isn't forward. Keeping that chin tucked, chest open. Nice, ladies, woo! All right. Make sure you're breathing, exhaling on the lift.
Stop, exercise.
Well done, shake it out. All right, I'm gonna up the ante here, pumping the arms on the wall sit. Feel free to join me, whatever works for you today. If it's better for you to do an isometric hold, if you want to alternate arms, not simultaneous, that's fine
Begin
too.
set 4.
I am going to alternate simultaneously, which means they're both moving at the same time, right? Quads are working, ladies. Abs engaged, working the biceps. Woo! Great work. Head and neck in that neutral position, looking straight ahead, almost there. Quads starting to shake, hope yours are too. Biceps working as well, abs engaged, almost there.
Stop, exercise,
Woo!
and switch to the next
Nice
station.
job, shake it out. Okay, I'm gonna go to a balanced core exercise, standing cross crunch, all right? Few ways to do this. First way, standing leg is soft,
Begin
arm
set
is
1.
up, hand over the elbow. You're going to meet right at that navel as you contract the abs. Open up, touching down if you need to, all right? If it is too much for you to stand on one leg, you can just bring the leg in and keep it close to the floor, maybe even sweep it across. If you have a shoulder that does not like to be here, you can bring your arm lower. But I want you to think about contracting the abs either way as you come in, okay? Notice I'm not crossing my body, all right? Think about meeting right at the center line, okay? So lots of options here. Standing leg is soft. Again, if it's too much for you to stand on one leg, try and put most of your weight on this leg. Sweep that other leg in, keeping it down. All right, here we go. Either way, you're contracting your abs, opening up, contracting the abs. Great. So, obviously I am balancing here. Whichever version you're doing, I want you to work on balancing on that left leg. Even if you have to keep that right foot down, put most of the weight on that left leg. Contracting the abs. Arm can be up if your shoulder's good. Arm can be a little bit lower. If you need to do it that way, modify, okay? Shake it out. Great. So as you probably know, most of you take my classes, I'm big on balance. We're going to do a lot of balance today. Really important for fall prevention. Really important to stay strong on each side so that you can catch yourself if you start to lose your balance, which I'm sure a lot of you have experienced. I've had a lot of people say to me, gee, I almost fell, but I was able to catch myself. And they actually attribute it to working out and working on balance. So that's why it's so important. Good. Contracting the abs, opening up. Great. Here's your exhale. Nice and tall, meeting right at the center line, opening up. Great job, ladies.
Stop.
Remember, focusing on a spot in front of you is helpful. Something that's not moving. Maybe it's an outlet. Maybe it's a piece of furniture, whatever it is. Focusing on that spot while you're balancing will be really helpful. And you're bound to see improvement within the set itself. Like you already should see improvement here if you're truly focusing on that spot. It's the nice thing about balance. You see improvement right away most of the time as I say that I'm putting my foot down. How's that? There we go. Great. Close as you engage those abs. Open up. Nice. There's your exhale. And opening up. Almost done here, ladies. Opening up. Nice and tall.
Stop, exercise, and switch to
There
the
it
next
is.
station.
Well done. All right, we're going to go to a bent over row. I'm going going to use the bench for this. You can use a sofa. You can use a bed. Bed's a little bit high, probably. Piece of furniture. Bench works really well. If this doesn't work for you, for some reason, you can always do a row standing in this position. But the motion is the same. You're pulling into your rib cage. In this case, I've got a kettlebell pulling right into my rib cage. So whatever weight you have, probably as heavy of a weight as you have, because this is a strong muscle group, upper back, postural muscles. If you're bent over like I am, your back stays flat, your shoulders stay square. So you're lowering your arm, but you're not dropping your shoulder, okay?
Stop exercise.
I'm going to switch sides just so you can see a little bit better. So remember, shoulders stay square. When I'm lowering that arm, I'm not dropping out the shoulder. I'm keeping the shoulder square, and I'm keeping my back nice and flat, okay? All right, here we go.
Begin set 2.
Right in that armpit, slowly lower. Really important to keep that upper back strong, ladies. This is what helps your posture. So working on the back muscles, very important to prevent rounding as you get older. If you overwork the front side of your body, your chest tends to get tight, pull those shoulders forward. We want to avoid that. Slowly lower. Exhale as you pull right to that rib cage, slowly lower. Great.
Stop exercise.
Nice. All right, switching sides. You can always do 2 on one side even now if you feel like you want to stay on the one side. If your weight isn't too heavy. Shoulders square, back flat. Here we go, right in that rib cage, slowly lowering. Boom, slowly lower. Here's your inhale. And I like to say slowing because if you're truly lowering the weight with control, it should be slower. So you are working against gravity. You are controlling that weight going down. That's where you get your muscle work here, slowly resisting the weight from dropping, okay? Great.
Stop exercise.
Nice. We have one more set. All right. Getting in position, keeping my shoulders square, keeping my back nice and flat. Getting ready to exhale here, keeping the elbow in,
Begin
slowly
set 4.
inhaling. Good. If you're standing, it's the same drill. You're keeping that body in a diagonal position, pulling right in that rib cage, slowly lowering at a diagonal. Great. Nice, ladies. Slowing with control. Head and neck stay nice and neutral.
Stop exercise and switch to the next
Excellent
station.
job. All right. We're going to do another balance exercise. And I'm going to, hold on, I'm going off screen here for a moment. I'm going to add some weights to this. And you can add some weights if it works for you. We're going to start with
set 1.
just a basic balance exercise that most of you have done with me, just putting one foot in front of the other. I want to make sure you can see my feet. Okay, so this might be enough for some of you to balance. You want to think about being equally weighted on both feet, okay? And I'm going to add a little V-raise here with some light weights. This works the front of the shoulders. Elbows stay soft, slowly lower. Now, for most people, even if you have a shoulder issue, this is a really good way to work the shoulders safely. You can try it.
Stop
If it
exercise.
doesn't work, throw it out. But as long as you're not going up high here, you're just staying low and not going above shoulder height, keeping the elbows soft, so not locked out, but just soft, okay? All right, I'm going to switch my feet now.
Begin set 2.
Again, equally weighting the feet, shoulders down, chest up, small V-raise, slowly lowering. Good. Again, you're focusing on that spot in front of you. You're trying to be equally weighted on your feet, so tendency is to be mostly on the back foot. If you come a little bit more on the front foot, you'll find it's a little bit more challenging on the balance. Make sure your knees are soft, abs are engaged. There's your exhale. Slowly lowering. Nice. Again, working the front of the shoulder here while you're working on the balance. Excellent. All right, I'm switching my feet again. Now, for those of you who are not terribly challenged right now with your balance, I'm going to make it harder by lifting this leg up, okay? And hopefully not full over.
Begin set 3.
So, option 2, lift that leg up and come down. That's only if you're feeling like you need a little more of a challenge. And I'll make sure you can see my feet here. Otherwise, you're just staying with 2 feet, equally weighted. If you do want to do that leg lift, you can touch down in between, or you can keep it up and do little pulses. Whatever challenges your balance today, different days we feel differently. So today, there we go. Today your balance might feel great, tomorrow not so great. So again, whatever's feeling challenging today, if you're feeling like you need more than 1 foot in front of the other, go ahead and do that leg lift, okay? Touch down if you need to, all right? Or keep that leg up.
Begin set 4.
And do some pulses. Now notice I'm turning my foot out. That's just because I want to get that inner thigh, all right? Always like to work those inner thighs. Good, slowly lowering. Nice, ladies. Notice my shoulders stay down. Good, my chest is up. My core is engaged, and my standing leg is really working to balance here. Feeling it in my foot and my ankle.
Good. Stop exercise and
nice
switch to the
work.
next station.
All right, we are going to move to mat next. And if you have a band, I'm going to ask you to put the band on over your feet and over your knees, okay? So we're going to work the outer hip and glute next.
Begin set 1.
And we're going to start with a 2-legged bridge. Squeezing the glutes, coming up, holding, and coming back down slowly. Now, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone, coming up. Depending on how your back is, if it's sensitive or if it's strong, you're going to modify accordingly. So if the up and down works great for you, engaging the glutes, engaging the abs, and slowly coming down, you're going to stick with that. If you need a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to stay up. All the while, you're keeping tension in the band.
Exercise.
So we're working this outer glute medius in addition to hamstrings and glutes and core, okay? So I'm going to invite you to advance with me or keep doing what you're doing, whatever works for you today. Tension in the band, no matter what you're doing, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone, coming up. Now, if you don't want to go up and down, if you want something a little bit more challenging, you're going to stay here and just do a small push out. This is meant to be a subtle movement. Hopefully you have enough tension in that band that it's just a little push and you really start, it is cumulative, you will start to feel those hips. And as with any bridge, arms can be here, arms can be here if you want a little bit more of a challenge for the core to stabilize.
Stop exercise.
Great, slowly lowering, awesome. All right, for those of you who would like a single leg option, we're going to do one leg next, and I'll show you how that's going to work. So you can go up and down, you can stay up, push out, or you can join in a single leg, which is going to look like this today. Glutes up, hips up. I'm going to put one leg parallel to the other leg, and I'm going to add a little pulse on that right leg. Again, this is all depending on if you're feeling like you want more of a challenge. You can stay here. You do not have to pulse up and down. You can continue with the 2-leg if you have a sensitive back. So it's all about challenging yourself and staying safe here, ladies. But you should be feeling your hamstrings, glutes, hips,
Stop exercise.
abs. Nice. Bringing it down. If you need a hamstring rest for me, the best way to rest my hamstrings is just to extend my legs like that, and they're completely inactivated, okay? All right. Coming up now, set number 4. Squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone, coming up. Option to raise the other leg if you want to do a single leg. Option to pulse Now I'm still keeping tension in the band, ladies, on this. So whichever version you're doing, if you have the band, I want you to keep the tension in that band. So you're working the hips, working the outer glutes. If you're doing the pulsing here, you should really be feeling that left hammy and left glute. Keeping the abs engaged. Arms going to be here, arms going to be here, depending on your balance.
Stop exercise. And
Nice job.
Stay.
All right, ladies. We are going to finish with some front planks today. Remember, with the planks, you have the option of raising your arms up if you want something a little bit less stressful on the shoulders, less stressful on the back. You can be on a chair. You can be on a bench. You can be on a counter if you need to. If you're on the floor, I'm going to have you on your forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders. Chest open, abs and glutes nice and engaged. I'm going to start with just a simple sawing forward and back, just because I like to have something to do. So if that variation works for you, join me in this. Notice my body staying in the same plane as I'm moving. I'm not up here. I'm not letting my hips drop. I'm keeping my hips even with my body. And I'm just going forward and back. Some people call this sawing.
Stop.
Abs and glutes engaged. On the break, let's go into a child's pose. Feeling that stretch in the lower back, relaxing the shoulders, making sure you get a break. Your arms get a break here. Okay? All right, second set. I'm going to stay low. This time,
set 2.
I'm going to add a little knee drop. Again, you can hold the plank if that's good for you. If you want a variation, sometimes I call this pedaling. It's a small knee drop. Again, I'm staying in the same plane with my body. It's just the knee that's being lowered. Keeping the abs engaged. Keeping the glutes tight. Head and neck staying in that neutral position. Woo! Heating up. Nice, ladies. We are doing this today.
Stop.
Woo! Doing it. Yeah. Carla's back. All right, shake it out. How are you doing, ladies? You have 2 more planks to go. I think I'm going to stay low today. If any of you need to do a high plank that works better on your shoulder, feel free to do that. My wrists are kind of done after the push-up, so I'm going to stay low today. And I'm going to add a little tap out on this one again, only if you want a more advanced option. Keeping the plank the exact same, just doing a tap out with the foot. Great, ladies. Woo! Abs stay engaged, head and neck stay in that neutral position. Woo! Almost there. Little tap.
Stop.
Little tap. Awesome. Woo! And you can do these variations whether you're on a counter, whether you're on a chair, or if you're on the mat. Feel free to join me. We have one final set. For this last one, I'm going to do probably my favorite, the hardest, which is stirring the pot. Okay, again, optional here. So I'm drawing a circle in the mat with my hips, keeping them in the same plane as my body. This is only if you want to really challenge yourself, if your back is feeling good, if you want to finish with a bang. We're going to switch directions. Woo! Whichever plank you're doing, ladies, we are pushing through. We are finishing strong. Abs engaged, breathing. Woo! Almost there. I will be ready when she says stop exercise. How about you? Woo!
Your training is now
Great job, ladies. Well done.
To the cardio area.
Very nice.
Woo-hoo. How you feeling?